Despite the best efforts of politicians like Sarah Palin, 6 years later, Americans are huge fans of the so-called death panels. Let's take a look at this, showing the level of support for payments from Medicare and private insurance to cover discussions between doctors and patients on end-of-life care. Now, you're going to immediately notice all of those numbers are very, very high. It doesn't matter what age group, people are very supportive of this. And again, when we were talking years ago about death panels, it was not actually that government authorities would be deciding how long people get to live. It was for exactly this sort of thing. Doctors and patients talking about what sort of care they want as they approach the end of their life. Now, despite the fact that her portrayal of it, Sarah Palin, was incredibly true, despite the fact that Americans are incredibly supportive of it, as you see there, it was removed from Obamacare because of the controversy around it. Now, it's coming back this year as a proposed regulation by the federal government. Will it actually become law? I don't know. We know that it's incredibly popular. It certainly should. And if you see in this second chart, people are actually very supportive of the idea of having these sorts of conversations even outside of medical care, like with their spouse. 83% saying they're very comfortable having this conversation. And it is, of course, incredibly important for them to do so, although something like only 17% of all people actually have already, which is a shame. So it's just such a stupid debate about the death panels. It's popular amongst doctors. It's popular amongst the American public. It needs to go into effect. In fact, back in the day, PolitiFact actually deemed Palin's statement about the death panels, the lie of the year, which is awesome. So it's great to be able to look and see 6 years later that she was wrong and that the American public actually support it. And in a way, I think that this actually really summarizes American policies throughout history very well. Liberal proposes government program. Conservatives call it a fascist communist plot to destroy the American way of life. Policy goes into effect. Americans love the policy. And then 50 years later, conservatives claim that the idea was theirs all along and the liberals are probably going to cut it. Rinse and repeat. It's sad but true. That's American politics. And that's my final judgment.